Ladies and gentlemen, we are now caught up with Superman and Lois, episode 3 of season 2. Hey, thanks for being patient with us. And so yeah, I think just because of the way our shooting schedule and editing schedule has been, I think for just safe measure, I'm gonna say Superman and Lois will consistently be going up on Thursday mornings. That just seems like the smartest bet on our end at this current moment in time. So yeah, that will be our upload schedule for that. We good? Alright, hit that like button. That would mean a lot. Subscribe, click that notification bell, get notified when our reaction for that is up, of course. And also full-length watch-alongs, we sync up with a time code for SNL or over at our Patreon page. Big thanks to all who have become Superjects. Your support means more than you know. And also the boys at Prepper. You are the Jordan and Jonathan of our channel.
Are our kids. And you're both super though in our eyes.
You guys are great.
I'll call my dad, see if he can get us credentials.
You don't think a surprise visit from Lois Lane might raise a few questions?
It would, but not one from me.
No, helping us figure out what was causing the earthquake.
Not one from you.
You promised, Nat, John.
I know. But is there anyone else you can go to right now?
I love your wife, Clark.
I'll do anything for Lois.
You need to stop obsessing over Timmy. It's not, like, healthy, really. Coming from the guy that was up all night, what, looking at pictures of his own girl again?
That's a different story, man.
I want her to not have kissed someone else.
Care for a girl's opinion?
Oh.
Just that she hated keeping that secret from you. Which, I mean, maybe you can sympathize with. You know, the whole half-alien, son of Superman thing.
I mean, that's a completely different kind of secret.
Yeah, it's several magnitudes bigger.
She's not wrong.
Yeah, dude.
If you want to be honest with her about your powers one day, would you want her to be cool about it, or would you want her to react how you are right now?
He didn't cheat on her.
It's a personal line for everybody.
They're extremely excited about the fact that there is a woman running for mayor.
That's true.
Woke culture.
Who knows what it's like to feel unsure of yourself? Who knows what it's like to feel incomplete?
She looks so familiar. Who is this? This is really bothering me.
Come on.
I just think it's time to be honest and tell her, you know, everything.
You mean about having powers?
Yeah, like all of it.
No.
Not just.
Do you realize if she told just one person, our entire family would be compromised?
Yeah, but she wouldn't do that.
Or she could become the target of someone in the future who wanted to know my identity. Is that what you want?
Oh.
What if I want to marry Sarah?
15, Jordan.
So
Get in the car.
I want to marry her, Dad.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
What the fuck was that?
That was some demonic shit just then.
Jordan, I'm sorry.
He used the voice.
That's kind of scared the shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like a possession movie just then.
Of course, John and I, they're like, always knew this day would come.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's why I've been living here.
Stockpiled Sam's old kryptonite weapons just for this occasion.
That kiss meant nothing. I want to be with you. I love you.
It's not about you.
Then what's it about?
Oh, no.
I don't know where we go from here.
It's not you, it's me.
I have to decide if I'm gonna marry you or not.
Only then can we date.
He took some stuff at Deucer Slavin's lake house party a few weeks ago. I didn't think it was a big deal.
What, it made him, like, stronger?
I guess so. I don't know, but it's not even like a real drug. It's like some crystal crap that only grows in Smallville.
Why didn't you tell me this earlier?
I wish I didn't tell you now. You're already freaking out.
I'm not.
Finally, Jonathan's powers arise. He blows Candace's head off.
Building a sound economy based on regional industry and agriculture, and using this rare gift we have to reinvest in us.
And like Kyle said, I'm a woman.
But weren't you the one recruiting people for the man who almost destroyed this town?
No one knew who Morgan Edge really was, Chuck.
Right. Another thing you weren't aware of, huh? That gonna be your answer when everything you're preaching now doesn't come to pass? We're supposed to vote for her over George Dean when she can't even answer a simple question.
Ouch.
Yeah.
This podcast is having some mystery guest on who's just gonna lie and say whatever Alston wants.
Your sister know about this?
She has to. She probably knows who the podcast is working with. They were all in that group at the same time.
Oh my God, is her sister
It's
the
probably
guest?
Her sister. It's gotta be.
Everything I discovered Allie and Lucy were doing, everything I wrote in my piece, and you still can't pick a side? You didn't read it, did you? Don't bother talking to Lucy for me. I will do this without your help, like always.
She's by far the best actor on this show. Like, in every regard. She really is.
Some of those skills might rub off on you eventually. Yeah? So you can go for the drugs you've been taking, too?
You gonna go knock the gains on me now?
Whatever, man.
Oh, yeah, of course. Because it's your girl who's the one who's hooking me up. What?
What?
She didn't tell you that she's selling to me? You didn't know?
The queen bin. Ooh, bad idea. He's gonna blast you.
I thought Clark was coaching today.
Oh, jeez, there.
Oh, God. Oh, God, he got knocked down? Or is he faking it?
I think he's just covering really well.
You don't just lash out at people like that.
Okay, well, I should have been the one out there.
Jonathan, get out of here.
Yeah.
Out!
Oh, my God. This is so scary.
Dad, we need to go home now.
Dad, we need an exorcism.
He's like, I gotta let this out. That's so scary. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
What happened to your hands?
My heat vision, I couldn't stop it.
Wow, Rageaholic strikes again.
This was different!
Dude.
This is a national security situation.
No, it is a family situation. Anything Kryptonian that can affect Clark can also affect the boys. And besides, until we hear back from John Henry, we don't even know if that's what it is.
Wait, why do you need to hear back from my dad?
Forgot you were living here.
You really gotta pay attention to who's around.
I don't know if my dad ever yelled at me like that. This thing feels like the end of the world's coming.
Now's not the time to go all doomsday on me.
They keep saying
no. God, this has to be a mislead. My bloody kryptonite.
Oh, God. I think you're right.
Taste it.
Son of a bitch.
Detonation marks. Did somebody set off explosives?
Whoa! Yeah, you knew that was coming.
They did.
This episode's just women taking control.
Woke culture, my Superman.
I don't know, Dad. I love her. I don't think that's ever gonna change.
If in a year from now you still feel the same way, then maybe you and I can have a different conversation.
Really?
Really. In the meantime, I may have something to help show Sarah that you still care.
Season 3, Sarah finds out.
Green is good.
Not in the Superman world.
Just wanted you to know. I read your article.
A lot of grammatical errors.
I have some revisions.
Allie Alston is a bad egg. Your sister never should have gotten involved with her, which is exactly what I told Lucy when I called her.
What'd you say?
Most of it I'm not going to repeat. But she did agree to meet with you. Don't scare her away. Lucy isn't strong like you. She needs a delicate touch.
Maybe she's stronger than you know.
XK?
Everyone's juicing.
I'm trying to be this perfect person that everyone wants, and it feels really fake.
I have an idea.
Oh.
Yeah, come on. Hurry up!
Oh, I want to have kids.
Kids are pretty resilient. I mean, my mom abandoned us and my dad was never around and I turned out okay.
Okay might be.
Tread carefully.
Bit of an understatement, because you're perfect.
Okay, there it is.
That's what I was gonna say the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get back! Get back! It's breaking out.
I'll call John Henry.
He won't be able to stop it.
Whoa. Oh no.
Michael Chiklis?
It's collaborate time.
Irons, do you copy? Irons! I can't get him to wake up.
Wake up.
Biorhythms indicate he's unconscious.
Jonas, Lois.
Only now?
Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Damn. Oh,
Chris.
damn. Oh, crap. It's like watching the Injustice game. That is awesome. Damn.
Got that HBO money. Oh,
Ain't doing shit.
come on, man. He must just absorb all that power.
That's not Doomsday. That's him.
Oh.
Oh shit! Nipple chills. That's the fucking Bizarro. That's it. That's gotta be Bizarro. Oh, my nipples just got so hard. Yo, they like straight up cloned him.
You won't like this, Clark, but I gotta call Anderson.
Sam, no.
There's a bizarre version of Superman on the loop.
A Bizarro version of Superman.
Fix the valve.
Not Superman. Your suit can break. You can get hurt.
I know.
Why are you doing this?
Because they need my help.
I don't want you out there again. Not until we do something about this suit.
So you gotta fix that thing up.
Thrusters are completely shot. CPU needs to be rewired.
That's awesome.
This is gonna be the best bonding experience of your lives.
What am I even gonna say to her, babe? I haven't seen her in years.
Just be honest. Tell her that you've missed her. She's still your sister, Lois, no matter what.
Bizarro.
So go ahead, ask me anything. Ask me about Smallville. Ask me about my Aunt Ginny's marinara sauce that my daughter's obsessed with.
Hey, your dad said I could come in?
Yeah. Did he tell you not to run away scared this time?
Yeah, he did. It was kind of intense.
I almost ran away.
So is this gonna be a good talk or a bad talk?
I think you should open this first.
Will you marry me?
Oh my god, thank god.
Yeah.
I'm so good at that, dude.
My grandfather gave it to her back when they were in high school when he knew he wanted to do it.
And you're giving it to me?
Yes. Because I love you, Sarah.
We want to stay together.
Yes. For a really long time.
So does that mean Jordan gets to kiss someone?
Yeah, you can go one hop pass now. Use it wisely, Jordan.
John?
So I had a little chat with Timmy today about where he gets his drugs from.
I would like to buy some.
If you're here to dump me, just do it, okay? For the record, that's why I didn't tell you in the first place, okay? I knew you wouldn't understand.
I think your joke is gonna turn true.
I've been worried about it this whole time.
And I'm not here to convince you to stop selling.
You're not?
No, I need you to sell some to me.
Damn it, man. Not like this.
Crap.
Hello, Lois. Lucy isn't coming.
Yep. Lucy's been reeled back in.
She thought it would be better if I came instead.
It's like a fucking Fincher movie.
Like a Fincher movie. The color palette, the angles, the lenses. Damn.
That's crazy. Wow. Oh, damn.
Whoa, yes. Reverse Bizarro title. Oh, nice.
That's cool.
I'm glad the show's still good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Best episode yet. Yeah.
That was really great stuff. That was actually genuinely a really good, great episode. It's really pulled in. It was like nobody said something in episode 2.
About just it not feeling like it was like soaring and like, oh man, it's like locked in great on its stride, but still really good.
Yeah, this was like pretty much from beginning to end was like, oh no, this is
we're locked in.
This was the show I missed.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
All right, cool. Let's chit chat. Yeah, my memory of Bizarro is not like the strong. My introduction to Bizarro must have been the '90s Superman. I have a very specific memory of clones of Clark, and then he sees it's Clark Superman save Lois, and he's like, Superman save Lois or something. Yeah. and then there's Bizarro's been I think he was actually introduced in Superboy, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's been talks about maybe Jordan becomes Superboy. So it's just either way, it's cool to get that, and there are it didn't it wasn't quite clicking with me of why would Doomsday just sort of be down there? I'm not
with no prior fanfare or personal lead up to how he was formed.
Yeah. So it was it seems like they're doing Doomsday, and they keep saying Doomsday.
Yeah.
And so they were obviously trying to mislead, and then when thinking about the gloves too, at the time of filming, I couldn't find any photos that resembled it. But then eventually, I think in earlier renditions, sometimes he would have suits with the gloves. So I think everything was about misdirecting.
Gotcha.
But then with knowing what the DoD is doing, and then the amount of duplication of powers and stuff. Yeah, it's not far-fetched. They've got to a point where they could finally clone Superman, but he's basically a messed up clone version of Kal-El.
Yeah.
I think his power set can be a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a little bit opposite effect of what it can do. I think instead of heat ray vision, it's freeze ray vision.
Okay.
Stuff
what
that.
Does he have,
or is it hot
breath?
I think it's hot breath. Yeah.
Hot breath and ice vision.
Yeah. And I think he can only see through lead, but can't actually
anything else. Oh yeah.
But there's a bunch of different versions of him. Sometimes he's just unintelligible zombie version, and then there are versions of him that are intelligible. And it seems starting him off here that they're gonna. I imagine they would develop him to be a character who's I'm a little bit more zombified, and then eventually grows into
a more fully formed character with motivation, or at least some kind of way we can dramatically connect and have an actual internal conflict between him and Clark.
In some ways, and I might be way off base here, I've always sort of viewed Bizarro as if Solomon Grundy was a clone of
yes. This is getting us one step closer to maybe having a Solomon Grundy at some point.
True.
On this show, but no, I wasn't he? Didn't Bizarro Superman figure heavily into the Apocalypse animated? It was a Justice League that was recent. I get them mixed up on the names, but he had taken over, and it was one of the more recent animated movies that had a horror tone to it, and it was kind of in line with when the Snyder cut was like dropping or whatever. But I don't know. I appreciate that.
Maybe I've seen so much, the topic was kind of a blur to me.
There's one in which like like Darkseid wins or something like that, and then Bizarro Superman's in charge, and like
I've seen that. I don't really remember, but maybe you're right.
But yeah, like I don't know. That was probably the last time I saw him in animated form. But it got me really excited to hear. Partly because of just all the like horror like they've put in these really effective horror movie flourishes, both with like the crazy freakouts and things, but also just in the timing of when they put in these attacks, or especially in this episode, really kind of making it feel sort of like almost like it almost reminded me of like a 70s possession movie, but with more of a crazy modern like James Wan-ish sensibility of like when you like
you mean a James Wan movie.
A James Wan movie. I could have got there much more efficiently if I just said that. But that like when he has that freak out and he has to like clear the pent up heat vision into his hands, like is really gripping and jarring and unnerving. And to have that coming out of Clark at the same time as this sort of nightmare version of him is emerging, it feels like a really significant character to kind of throw in like right at season 2. But like I love the way that they're making these personal to Superman without having it feel too like silly or rote or cliche about it.
Yeah, because I think the one thing with Superman is like there's a lot of us. To make Superman interesting, it seems like something that people often default to is like dark Superman.
Yeah.
And I think what they did clever here was what happens when he can't control his rage on his family.
Yeah.
Which is like the scariest thought of them all.
Yeah.
Like he has the capability of just murdering his children, and he gets so blindsided by his rage. It's like sometimes a rage and I like the metaphor of that, because sometimes rage can feel like a blackout moment for people. And like when he was talking with Lois about what happened with Jordan, I'm sure there's like more sci-fi shit going on in his head, but the correlation of I don't even remember what the conversation was really about. I've heard that happen with people with like serious rage issues, is that they just can't even recollect the details of what happened in the blowout moment. It was scary, and the way they built that work, because like it's with Jordan, at least it's like, well, Jordan probably took a hit, but that wouldn't be good. It'd still be parental abuse and fucked up,
but he would be fine.
But he could recover.
He could, he's already been thrashed by Morgan Edge a couple times.
Yeah, he can handle it.
It's all right.
Whereas like Jonathan alone in the locker, and like to me that was even scarier, because you're like, oh dude, that guy has no powers.
Yeah, he can't withstand a laser blast right now.
And watching him just be like a father on the verge of committing just domestic violence, possibly murder, is a scary concept. And then what that must be for the children to have to be on the receiving end of that, I think is a bold ass move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny to like talk about. Sometimes I feel like people like give up on us when it comes to criticizing something, because we had that, or like questioning something, because we had that thing about the whole plot with the cult. And like this kind of feels like it came out of nowhere. Like, all right. But then it became like vastly more interesting.
Oh yeah, the proportions are way more on in this episode for that story especially, and now that it is becoming so much more personal to Lois, and it's really revealing, and they brought her dad back in. And you're actually, seeing the presence of this cult leader character, was her Alliston, actually, stepping into first just on TV and then into the actual narrative of the show. Like, they made those moments really hit, and I think it's funny, like having it be about a cult and true crime podcasts. Like, I liked that they then accented that with some little Finchery flourishes to really pull you into the kind of different sort of psychological nightmare of that situation.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because there's a lot of nightmarishness about this whole thing. Everyone's like really anguished. And now Jordan's gonna have a drug. Jonathan's gonna have a drug problem.
He wants to be like Pop.
Yeah.
It's about time Jonathan did something. That was really cool. Like, overly questionable about is because it makes sense, you know. Like, well, the worst he did last season was like get a little drunk, and like get a little mad. But
he's been the best boy the whole time.
Yeah, he's the MVP of the heart of the show. Just like he's always is so understanding. But the guy's pushing to a corner now, man.
Yeah,
he's getting surrounded, but he's at home. His brother and his dad have the greatest powers of all time, and then at school, his girlfriend is like going behind his back, and then he can't play because the guy's doing. It just makes sense that eventually he's gonna do something else. You know, you can't be perfect. So, yeah, I want to see how that progresses, of course. But who plays Lois Lane again? Why am I blanking? She is just so she is
fantastic.
Like Tyler is absolutely perfect in this role too. I just think that her performance across the board, just due to the fact of how her portrayal of Lois Lane has to carry so much trauma, and doesn't like play it in a way that is like, look at me traumatized, you know?
yeah. It's not acting pills.
I think her performance is just so great. Constantly is like every detail of her portrayal is perfect, and it is cool to like get these stories of like, here's what Clark is dealing with, here's what Lois is dealing with. And then they have that moment on the porch where they become like lovey-dovey with each other, endearing. You're like, oh yeah, this is the partnership. That's so good. Like this is just such a great like package of a series. And then you have John and Natalie in the bar. Like, I love the way that scene was executed, because I was like, oh, here we go. Natalie.
Here we go. They seem to have a really sharp awareness for those kinds of things, because they have really conscientiously timed both those plot lines that could become very tedious, like Natalie being upset at the circumstances surrounding Lois and John, and like Jordan and Sarah, like all that. But they've really conscientiously timed those things out to then in moments like this make you go, oh God, oh nice.
Yeah. Like the way the flip of the dialogue started happening. Like, I don't want you going out there again. My mind immediately went to, oh God, how long is the scene gonna go for? Like, I get that the scene's is necessary.
Yeah.
But it, like, the mind, that the wheels just start turning of, look, we know that eventually she's gonna have to get on board with this. Like, let's not drag this out.
Wheels. You're good at not spinning your wheels. Don't start
now. I know we need to have this conversation, and then immediately to just like a line or two later to go like, not until the suit is back. Like, oh fuck, that is just so like great, because I think all of us were probably in that boat of they set you up for her to just be like,
yeah.
And she's always so, you're like, why is my dad out there? She watches the suit fly off, and there's this worry, concern. Oh, and the fucking action was great, too.
Yeah. Like, they really do get that HBO money on this show, because, like, they make, especially the fight that ensues between Superman and Bizarro, like, and the lead up to that with just all the soldiers, like, they really made that stuff scary, and it hit hard. Like, all the hits felt harsh in a way where I forgot that this was, again, I feel like CW shows are cursed with the compliment of when they're particularly good, you forget that they're CW shows. And that was absolutely something that happened here.
Oh yeah, that one shot in the air was...
Yeah,
that is some of the best, like, flying characters in flight fighting each other. Like in Sky can so often go
hard to do,
so terribly wrong. Like so more often than not, it just looks awful.
It's like a terrible green screen. Which way are we going?
And that looked great, and it's like broad daylight, you know. And I was so impressed with the way I was really impressed with the way they handled that. Just that one little moment, it was like watching like the Injustice game and the way that's realized.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, because there's not like masking it with overshadowing it.
Yeah, and making it hard to see to make it feel more real.
Or just like, let's have them just crashing into buildings, you know?
Yeah.
Like it looked really great, you know, especially for a TV show. Because that was movie quality, you know. It's like I think Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, the fight in Smallville is like my favorite Superman fight ever. But that to see on a TV show and be like, damn, there's like fighting.
Yeah.
Like that, because they don't do that much in that fight scene there. That's pretty much on the ground, but they're like up in the sky. You know, it just. Yeah, I don't know. I was so impressed with that moment.
It's transportive and cinematic in a way that you're not entirely, in a way that's in some way almost unexpected, but that I think is something that's really magical about this show is that you have those elements. They're really plugged in. There's not always action, but when there is, it's really kind of accentuated to the 10th degree as much as it can be. And then you have great character stories, and it's like this could all feel kind of like a soap opera, and yet somehow it doesn't really.
No, and I was kind of getting soap opera vibes in like the second episode.
Yeah, and I feel like they've come back up to like, okay, these are just like these human struggles that intervene while also crazy science fiction and also cult crime stuff is happening. And we had Lana running for mayor. That's figuring that out.
Oh yeah. There's so many plot lines in here.
I know.
So much plot.
And yet somehow it didn't feel overloaded, and nothing felt like it was too short, except that we didn't get to see them play Madden.
That's true. That is true.
To have seen them play Madden.
Yeah, I like the I just think of the way they handled Bizarro is so good. Like it just seemed like it must have been Bizarro with because they're obviously setting him up for a big villain, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's Bizarro. And then he went away. I'm like, shit, do I have to cut that out of the video? because
it's actually Blue Superman.
It's just a clone. It's not Bizarro. Yeah. But then to go to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And then he's looking upon it. He's got the cape. It's like, yeah, you're like, okay, that's the confirmation. Yeah. I think that's great.
100%. That's so cool. Well, and that's the thing. Is like I love that it's. Like the first season you have that pitch of you got Morgan Edge, who's kind of Talro, who's kind of like an inversion of Superman in an ideological sense for him to butt up against with, and now it's going to be in the most physical sense.
Oh, but back to what you were bringing up with her running for mayor and all that. I think she should have prepared for that question.
I think she should have prepared for that question.
One thing you have to do, like what I learned, it's classic debate. If you're running for politicians, like I used to go on like Screen Junkies movie fights, and the number one thing I have to factor in when I'm playing that game is what can they use against me, and how can I counter this, or how can I defend myself,
Yeah.
Like that's the number one point of like, I think especially if you're running for politics.
Absolutely.
You gotta,
the first thing people are gonna come at you with.
You gotta think of what's everything people can attack me on or question me on, and you gotta have that really thought out. Like you gotta map that out. I'm like, that question that was brought up, I'm like, I really feel like you should have thought of some arena of this.
Yeah, Morgan Edge wasn't that long ago, and that's something that at least like forget the mortgages. Like
use their past.
Absolutely, and then also too, then to wrap it around at the end, I really liked the moment between her and Sarah where they're figuring out a new way to do the campaign. Although, and I'm sure it'll evolve as the show moves on, but in that moment, I was also thinking, this doesn't exactly seem like something that will immediately counteract the events of earlier today, because like it's much more like it's more personal and fun than it is sort of like, no, I'm back and I'm prepared. But that's just like a tiny little, I don't know, nit.
No, I got you. Like it was like a cute moment, but at the same time when I was watching it, I was like, oh, what? But she might get, you're being recorded now.
Yeah.
So you might get questions here that might stump you.
Yeah, and you might get comments that are pretty vile.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that dude from earlier going to see this video and be like, oh, no, you're a person, you're cool. I forget about my question and my farm that I lost.
Yeah. Trust me, there's people who've done live streams. You can really be like, oh, shit.
People immediately are. And I don't know, like, especially, it seems like people are apt to jump in and really rail you if you're in politics, especially. Immediately.
Especially if you're in politics and then you have a past that could be questioned. People will jump in and attack you.
Yeah. And they like to do it in a live setting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those, God, what are those called? Conference. what kind of conference calls are those called again? Town halls.
Town halls.
Meetings.
There you go, yeah, town hall.
Yeah, so that was kind of the I don't know. But the moments with Sarah were nice. I like that they do the gray area with that. You know.
Yeah.
Like they don't talk at all.
She kissed a girl and she liked it.
She kissed a girl. All right.
Yep. I do. Hey, you know, I like the way that they played that because it was sort of like, I don't know if that's my thing, maybe, but it happened, and I'm not ashamed.
I thought she was talking about cheating.
I guess that's probably the root of it, but I feel like I feel like the thing is, it's harder for me to look at that as just simply cheating because it is sort of like a discovery moment of another variety on top of you kissed somebody. So in that sense, I maybe that's just me kind of projecting that onto it, but I kind of took it in both. Because like the cheating, yeah, I'm like, I feel like I would be ashamed of that, but it's good that you were honest about it. Whereas like, oh, I kissed somebody who I didn't think I would normally kiss, that I wouldn't feel the need to be ashamed of, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, of course not to be ashamed of that.
Yeah. But of cheating in general, there's a better argument to be made for why you might feel a little bit ashamed.
I'd be like, really? You don't feel better?
And then to the person she kissed, I'm like, well, it didn't mean anything? I mean, that's a bummer. A meaningless kiss was the one that caused all this problems. I would want it to be at least important, which it does seem like in a human context. But yeah. But I'm glad.
I love the human part of him being in love and thinking, because I know that's when you're like a teenager in love and you're like, this is it, I found it.
Yeah,
because it's so engrossing. Yeah, it's like such a new feeling.
You're
like,
consumed with this other person. Yeah,
that first like heartbreak, I don't think you ever forget that first like real heartbreak, that unique feeling of having your soul ripped, like that what it feels like, so literal.
When you literally feel like you've been Doctor Strange punched out of your body. You're just floating in there.
Just walking around with a heart that's empty.
Yeah.
So, I really like that humanness of like, Jordan, your wants are going to change. Like, I think that was so real.
Yeah.
The show's like for all ages.
It is, because, they didn't talk down to that position that Jordan's in, which I feel like, you know, for adult writers is probably a pitfall that is harder to avoid sometimes, to really make that feel natural and to not make it feel like, well, obviously, dude, like, you know, he doesn't have the perspective yet. It gave it the credence and the sort of tenderness that, just like every perspective is given its, you know, it's credence.
Guys, show knocked it out of the park. What can I say? It's perfect.
What more is there to say?
It's amazing. Guys, leave your thoughts down below. Do we have anyone to shout out?
We got some more patrons to shout out. If you want to shout out some more patrons from our special shout out tier.
Yeah, why not? Kathleen Meher, you care bear.
Master Chief T.
Alex Beware, you Ferber.
Kiss me, Mr. Crispy.
Chris Bustin, be thrustin.
Clifford the Big Red Dog Rodriguez.
Sax the Crooked Captain Hook.
Jaron Wanner Bananer.
Gail Ferguson Person.
Nick X-Ray Specs.
Rosalie Taylor the Baylor.
Bear in the Garage, also a lodge.
Phil Eider the Weiser.
William Bryant the Fire Hydrant.
Koosey Lucy Pushy.
Ericons 3969.
Matt ASMR Audio in the Rodeos.
Shaquita Bonita Washington.
Logan Burden be flirtin'.
Zach Hirschberger with extra onions.
Ricardo Martinez, the biggest business.
Zung Shin on needles and pins.
think that's what your name is. We think we did Google
We
Translate.
did it. We did our best.
Yeah.
Comment below and tell us what your name is.
We went through we traveled on horseback to the nearest ancient library. Through temples and books.
Cross-referencing ancient tomes. I think these two characters line up.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We're Americans.
Thank you so much for being here.
Being here.
You guys support means a lot. Catch
Love
y'all
you
soon.
all.